Right, this is the second episode of the Tanked Up Patreon, whatever you want to call it, for you very special Patreon subscribers.
Let's go.
Coming off a big weekend, Brett Johns, who is his video out on Patreon already, the questions?
Yeah, his questions come
So
out
Brett,
last
who's
Friday.
answered your questions last week, got a big win on the weekend with a broken rib and a broken foot. Although he did break the foot in the fight, but he broke the rib about 4 weeks ago. So I've just come back from Dublin, so I may look a little bit tired. But there we go, nothing new there.
Mate, fair play to him, innit? Because, well, I wouldn't have known anyway. I know, like, I come up filming a couple of times and he wasn't about, and it was all a bit, like, eerie and whatever. But obviously the truth came out after the fight.
Yeah, he'd had to keep it under wraps for a long time. Obviously, you don't want no one finding out about it. And it was a little bit up in the air for a week or two, whether they, my old man had his way. I think he probably would have pulled him out.
Yeah.
Because I think he did it originally. I can't remember how he done it. Because obviously I haven't been in the gym properly for like the last 3 or 4 weeks because of my knee. It's another story for another day. So, but I know he hurt his rib. He did some, I think it was wrestling. And he said he just felt like a little pop. Yeah. And I think with a rib, it can be nothing or it can be severe, and if it's severe, the only thing you can do for a rib is rest, because you can't obviously put it in a cast or have treatment on it. But then how you meant to rest in the middle of a fight camp, because he's obviously got to get his weight down, he's got to make sure he's fit, and Brett's quite OCD of his training, like he said on the podcast, he's OCD of his weight. He gets anxiety if his weight doesn't move, he gets anxiety if he's not in the gym training, and he's too tough for his own good, and if the truth is told, because I think he had like sort of a week off, and then rushed back a little bit and bang, he went again, but worse.
Was that before Gallagher pulled out or after?
Ooh, that's a good question. When did Gallagher pull out?
It was about the Cage Warriors Academy show, wasn't it? Somewhere around there, because I can remember him saying he'd pulled out that day or the day before.
The big Cage Warriors show.
Oh, sorry, Cage Warriors.
Yeah, so I would say it was probably after that then.
After that, yeah.
It was after that. Which is probably like I know, it would have been after, because I know he was a bit feeling like, they've got me this replacement, I don't want to fuck him about. And
yeah, I was thinking that, because he'd already said, I wouldn't pull for anything, and then fucking hell.
But, and, he's a fighter, he just wants to fucking fight. And I think if my old man had his way, my old man forced him to go for a scan to check, it wasn't nothing serious, like, because obviously you can't fight with if your rib's snapped in half, forced him to go for a scan. The scan kind of said, look, you should probably pull out, but, it's like we're fighters and we're stupid, and we more often than not dig our heels in and it's like, no, I'm not pulling out. So,
well, you've been in that position with your shoulder before, haven't you?
I've been in it, yeah, shoulder. I've done it not as severe as Brett, but early on in I think it was my second Cage Warriors fight, I popped a rib about 2 weeks before, and that was the same. I couldn't do anything for 2 weeks. Nowhere near as bad as his mind. His was, I'm not just saying it to make it sound worse than what it was very bad. He's gonna have to have fucking, well, to be honest, his foot being broke is probably a blessing in disguise, because now he will have to rest.
Yeah.
He can't jump on the mat and grapple with a broken foot. But it was bad, and there's nothing wrong with his performance, but you could see in his performance he looked good, but I'm used to seeing him so, sharp and good. You could just see he was a little, I could see like a bit of weariness in him, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
A little bit of weariness. He kind of just wanted to get it done, I think, get the guy down and stay safe, and
he was just trying to do what he knew he could do, grind him out.
Yeah, what was safe, and he had to eliminate the risk. We're going in the compromise, the same as me when I went in with the shoulder. I had to eliminate the risk. I got one takedown and felt my shoulder was fucked, and it felt even worse than what it did. So it's kind of like, the only way to eliminate this risk is not to grapple. I probably could
jab his head off.
Yeah, at full strength, I probably could have took him down and dominated him and probably finished him on the floor. Looking back, if I fought him now, Ludwig, I know I could take him down and put him away on the floor, because his ground game's, in comparison to mine, quite basic. But then, do you run the risk of putting him down and then you make the shoulder even worse, to the point where you can't lift your arm, or you end up in a position where you can't defend yourself? So, and he did exactly what he had to do. He had to eliminate the risk, and that was what you've seen. He's still 30-26, the guy. So
I know, it's crazy,
if
isn't
he
it,
can
with a broken rib?
If he can have a broken rib, and I think his foot went in the first round. So
is it? Yeah.
If he can do that, then imagine what he can do at full health.
I seen your old man on Twitter. He was giving him some.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
Giving him some grief.
I'm off Twitter. I can't stand Twitter no more. So I haven't seen it. But it's a funny story because Levi's old man booked us Lee booked us the room for the trip, and never stayed in the hotel before. He said he goes to Ireland quite a lot, batch. So we open up the room now, and it's literally a bed sit. So it's a double. Me and Levi sharing is a shower, a toilet, a sink, and a double bed, and a mini fridge. Like, me and Levi just kind of looked at each other. I was like, fucking hell, we're sharing a double bed then. So I only see it because we was led in bed after the fight. So it's like we're a romantic couple. We was led in bed after the fight on our phones, and he's like, "Oh, your old man's ranting on Twitter," and I was like, "Oh, fucking!" But I know it was bad what they done, mate.
Yeah, they should have given him some.
They didn't give him. He's the only fighter that didn't have no mic time. He didn't have no media duties fight week. The only interviews he done was the podcast of us and a couple of journalists that contacted him independently, and then he didn't even have a fucking what's it called, a post fight
presser.
Yeah. So I think someone asked Scott Coker about it. Someone was telling me yesterday in his post-fight scrum, and he was like, "No, it's not nothing to do with that." He kind of said, "It's like, how do you promote anyone that's at bantamweight that's not in the final four of the tournament because all eyes on them?" And my old man made a good point. He was like, "So you're telling me if Gallagher won, he wouldn't have had any fucking fight week duties and he wouldn't have had the mic after the fight?"
It's bullshit, isn't it?
It's fucking bullshit. Regardless of how the fight went, and regardless of him not being Irish in an Irish crowd, you got to give him the fucking, what is it? Because, like, being there, obviously, live, the show, Brett was the was he main event of the prelims?
Yeah, he was the last fight.
He was the last fight on the prelims. Oh, no, sorry, he was last but one on the prelims.
Was he?
I think.
Yeah,
whatever it was, fucking hell, wherever he was. The main card doesn't start at 9, that finished 8:20, so that's a 40-minute window. They had spare. They had plenty of time to put him on the mic, do you know what I mean? So...
Yeah, I did wonder if that was something to do with it, whether or not because he'd fought the full 25, didn't he?
Full 15.
Full 15,
yeah.
Fucking hell. I'm always doing that. And then I was thinking in my head, maybe they didn't have enough time, but like you say, if there's that much of a break.
Come on,
no, it's just a joke, isn't it?
Needs a bit of not fair play, like, but just fucking, it just seems to be a Welsh thing, doesn't it? It just seems like us Welsh always, I don't know, we kind of got to fucking do it all 10 times over compared to everyone else to get a little bit of...
Yeah, you have to do something ludicrous one day, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, just fucking throw a fucking dolly through a bus or something.
That'll do it, won't it? That'll fucking do it.
But yeah, Dublin was good. We had a good trip. Went to McGregor's pub, the Black Forge.
Oh, yeah.
So that was good.
Rate it? Or
what's that?
Would you rate it?
Yeah, the fucking food was lovely. But it's not what you think it is, the pub. Like, I thought it'd be a lot bigger. It's in like a proper like rough council estate as well. It's not like in the middle of Dublin centre. It's where McGregor grew up, where the Kinans are all based, apparently. The taxi driver was telling us anyway. And we went in. Lovely in there, mate, don't get me wrong. It's not like a pub in Atley. It's millions has been spent on it. But I thought it would be a lot bigger for some reason. And the bar side is like a proper little bar. It's not fucking...
Wouldn't think anything
It's
of
not
it.
a nightclub or anything like that. But it's lovely, and then the food was mint. It's all like videos, a corner. They passing the belt around... There's videos like Kevin Hart in the pub on the TV, Dan Bilzerian, Coolio was there rapping at one point. No one we was there. But there was a live artist and stuff there. It was a quality little setup.
Yeah. It's cool that he's bringing that, though, innit, to his hometown.
Yeah, it is good. It is good. And the taxi rank next door sounds he's bought the taxi rank off them. But it's obviously like, not let him keep it, but they rent it off him now kind of thing. And he's done him like a deal. So yeah. Because it's handy for his pub as well, I suppose. But... What else did we get? Oh, like the atmosphere as well. The fucking atmosphere there. I went to watch UFC in Dublin in 2015, and it was like nothing I'd ever experienced. And then, obviously, I fought in the ice arena, and the atmosphere was fucking nuts.
That was
not
nuts.
to make everything about me, but the atmosphere was insane. And that atmosphere that I generated in the ice arena compared to the Irish one, but that Irish atmosphere... They are giving the same ovation to 1-0 guys and 2-0 guys and guys like guys on the undercard, like 5-0 guys, like was in Wales and England, or people like me get a big ovation, and fucking hell, like people like Paddy and I get a massive ovation, on another scale to me obviously, but just speaking for from the Welsh point of view, although I would have massive ovations every time I fight, you may have a debut guy on the undercard and they'd be known in the arena, whereas this is no exaggeration, the free ring was fucking packed from the first fight of the night, and you're talking like, there was a guy like, I think it was a 2-0 or 1-0, like a 3-1, and the ovation in there for all of them, it was insane. Like, you would think that there's like an hometown superstar was walking out every single time, and then Peter Queeley's walk out to Zombie. That's fucking bizarre. Maybe I'll try and send a video and chuck it on the pod at the end or something.
Yeah, right.
For them to watch, but it's fucking mental.
Yeah.
They had a couple of Asher chants as well. You know, they're not fond of the Queen over there. Lizzie's in a box was being chanted.
Was it? Yeah.
was being chanted. Couple of scraps in the crowd. It was an hostile atmosphere, but I enjoyed it. I am watched a big show like that as a fan since probably I went to Dublin last time. I've been to watch Cage Warriors and stuff, but they've usually been when the boys are fighting, and you know I'm solely there to watch the boys. And when you've fucking grown up, and you know I fought on Cage Warriors, I want to know, so it's not a big deal to me. But like Bellator, it is like the production's like the UFC, so I enjoyed it. It was nice to sit there as a fan for a change rather than be fighting or obviously I was nervous for Brett and everything, but once he was out the way, it was nice to sit back and enjoy the show. There's
some good fights on after him as well, wasn't it? Romero and Manoff, like that was.
Romero's a fucking tank.
Just the size of him, innit? He looks natural at 205, though, doesn't he?
We went to the hotel now on Saturday day. Not Saturday day, sorry, Friday day. To see Brett, my old man. My old man's like, you'll be surprised, he said. Romero's not that big. And I was like, fucking hell, really? Yeah, you know, he's fucking muscly, he said, but he's not as big as you'd think. Fucking hell, he got in the cage. Me and like Batch looked at each other and we were like, he must not have had his fucking glasses on. Cause he's a
Do you get mixed up?
You may have, yeah. I said, we're looking at fucking Manoff as you like, but Manoff's fucking big, but Romero, his fucking neck, he hasn't got a neck, he's just got traps in the neck.
Yeah, it's just goes straight up.
He's massive. He's a fucking freak. 46 years of age.
It's insane.
He's an just him barking at the camera.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like,
he's an absolute wild, freak. And you know when he walked out, like you talk about like global superstars in the sport, and legends. Like anyone would swear he was the hometown hero. Like he was Irish. They were fucking going just as nuts for him as they were going for like Peter Queeley and Liam McCourt and any of them.
He is though, and he's a big name. He's like a superstar for them, isn't he?
It's like when a UFC guy goes to Bellator, they kind of either kind of like want to one up the UFC and have their guys beat them and be like, see, you know, the level, or they kind of turn them into their own star.
Yeah.
And with Romero, that's exactly what they've done. They've turned them into, they've just, you know, you don't think of him now as, oh, he's the ex-UFC guy. You think of him as, oh, he's pushing for the Bellator title. And he wants to fucking win the 205 belt, he said, and the 185 belt. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, you're 46. How much longer are you going to keep going for? But, hey, he's not your average 46-year-old.
No, he's a well, just look at them, innit? Look at the difference in him.
He's so explosive as well.
Manoff's 46 as well, isn't he?
47, man.
47, is he?
He's so fucking explosive. But, like, Manoff weighs it a bit more.
Yeah,
you see by the way he moves, and, you know, he's a kind of like, was like a shadow of himself back 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But then you watch fucking Yoel, and it's just like watching him fucking when he was in there against Whittaker and all that. He's just a fucking freak of nature. He
looked tentative as well, didn't he, Manoff? I think he knew, like, I can't risk too much in this fight.
Yeah.
Because he's fucking just an animal.
Yeah, and he retired obviously after it as well, Manoff. So, you know, world career, he's I think 20. It's got to be over 20 years. He was in Pride. He was in fucking K1. He fought fucking Strike Force. He fought like the guys he's fought. You know, he's fought fucking everyone. In all fairness to him, so big shout out.
I can't remember. Sorry, go on. I can't remember how many. Fucking hell, I'm just betting again.
Go on.
Can't remember how many knockouts he had, but it was something fucking.
They
mental,
did say
like
so. I think. Don't quote me on this, but the I'll pull it up. But the stats was along the lines of like he's got a really high like knockout ratio, and then obviously like fucking. So like 95% of his knockouts have been in the first round anyway. I'll Google it by you now, Melvin Manhoef.
My missus like watched the Bellator with me at home, and she was looking at him, and she just thought he looked like the craziest person in the world. 'Cause his eyes, they're proper bulging, like.
I don't know, they show it on Sherdog actually, didn't they? Let's have a look. So he's 30. Come on, fucking cookies all the time.
Yeah, he is just a crazy guy. Like, I imagine fighting till you're like 47.
I know. So 32 wins, 29 of those are by knockout.
That's just mental.
And I'm sure they said on the night, like, I think it was like, what did I say, 29? So I think like 26 of them have been in the first round, or 25 of them. So that's just a fucking frightening stat. And to be fair, like, fucking 32-16 is some record for a kickboxer.
Yeah.
Like, because he's predominantly a Thai fighter or a Dutch kickboxer. He never really worked on his ground game too much, but fucking hell, he got some big wins. And he always lived by the sword and died by the sword. He was either going to knock you out or get knocked out.
Yeah, didn't he knock out Mark Hunt as well? Like, fuck, that takes some
in a
doing,
K1 fight, mine, with fucking 10-ounce gloves on.
Yeah.
You ever watch this fight with Robbie Lawler?
No, I haven't
If
seen
anyone's on you is relatively like new to MMA or younger, and you haven't seen some, go and watch Melvin Maloff against Robbie Lawler, and just fucking destroys Robbie Lawler for like 4 minutes. Battered his leg. Robbie can't stand. Inside kick, outside kick. Robbie's all. This was back for the calf kick days as well, so it's just fucking shin on fire. And Robbie like just fucking throws the Hail Mary, like at the last fucking 30 seconds of the round one, clips him and knocks him out. Fight's over. He doesn't even celebrate Robbie. He just like fucking like drops to his hands and knees. And it's like going to the doctor on my leg, like put some ice on my legs. And that's Robbie Lawler.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck's tougher than Robbie Lawler? Like, do you know what I mean?
Fuck, it must have took some hammering.
Yeah, Maloff's a fucking beast. And
what weight was he fighting at then?
middleweight.
Was he? Yeah.
Middleweight, yeah.
Oh, so Robbie's come down then, is he, over time?
Yeah, well, Robbie was welterweight in the UFC, and I think when he left the UFC, like, he went to, like, Strikeforce and Elite FC and stuff, he went up to middleweight for a little bit. And I think when they re-signed him to the UFC, then he come back down to welter, so he had the title run. And
yeah, you see a bit of that. Is that because they feel like they're more comfortable with the competition outside of the organisation, usually, or is it just...
I think it depends, fucking hell, like, people's mindset varies, like, back then, the UFC wasn't the only big... Well, it's not the only big promotion now. It's coming full circle again now. But back then, it wasn't kind of like, if you're not in the UFC, you can't get paid. Like, a guy like Robbie Lawler was probably not making mental money in the UFC at the time, so could probably go to Strikeforce and, like, Elite FC, and because of who he was, pulling good thing. And maybe his kind of mindset was, I'm going to cut less weight so I can fight more often and build up a better record and get a better chance of going into the UFC, Fuck knows. I mean, he always looked fucking big at middleweight, Robbie. When he come back out to welterweight, it was kind of like, fucking hell. But now he looks like a welterweight, so over time he's kind of like shrunk his body a little bit. Maybe he's on the gear as well, mind you, don't know. Fucking,
know.
The drug testing wasn't quite as fucking soon back then either.
Are they testing in Bellator the same, do you reckon?
No, I don't think so.
No, because you see some of them, don't you? And
Doesn't
thinking,
fucking look like it, do it?
No.
I think the commission will test if they want to. I think it's very loose. It's loosely tested. I've never known of anyone get caught taking steroids in Bellator.
Yeah.
That's not a knock. At least it's an even, like, look, one way or another, it's an even playing ground in some terms, because it's like, it's the same with USADA. It means that no one, well, obviously not no one, because you've got people like fucking TJ Dillashaw and all that, and people do try and cheat the system with USADA, whereas at least with Bellator, I suppose, in hindsight, it's a bit like Pride, where it's like, do what you want to do. We're not going to... And I don't know whether they've said this, but I'm assuming, because I've never known of a fucking drug test. And, I've heard rumours of people in there doing whatever. I mean, look at fucking Yoel.
Yeah, I know, he don't look right, does he? But then, he didn't look right in the UFC.
No, he didn't. But what I'm saying is, it's like, at least everyone can do it.
Yeah.
It's not like they're saying you're not allowed to do it, and then you haven't got people like TJ Dillashaw going off and doing it anyway and getting the advantage.
Yeah, don't complain about it, because you could do it if you wanted to, type
exactly,
of deal.
Yeah. Like, I think in the old Pride days, the funny story, and they reckon in the contract they said, we do not test for steroids. Like, basically saying, take some fucking steroids.
Yeah. It's a crazy thing, because if it wasn't for the fact that you could possibly, like, kill each other, you do get probably the best out of everyone if they are on steroids, don't you?
Yeah.
You probably get some...
But then it is unfair in a way, because it comes down to money as well, because, like, if you got £1 million in the bank, obviously you can probably get all the better steroids than some fucker who's got £100,000 in the bank. And then you can, if you got £100,000, you can get probably better fucking supplements than someone who's got £10,000 in the bank. So
yeah, you're not going to be able to get D-ball off Johnny from the corner either.
No, like put it this way, someone like TJ Dillashaw with his millions in the bank can probably get a lot better steroids than someone like, say, I don't know. Fuck no, than someone who's fucking had 2 fights in the UFC. So Yeah, it is just one of them.
Well, like EPO though, I don't think that's like an easy thing to take either. Is it? It's blood. You got
blood transfusion.
Yeah.
You
need
take
a
out
doctor,
blood
like, don't
altitude
you?
and then put it back in. So, fuck TJ.
Fuck him. Yeah, he was wrong, wasn't
Oh,
it?
Aljo squeezes a piss out of him.
Yeah, it's bad that he's kind of got himself.
It should be a
straight back
ban
in
for
his
life.
Position, isn't
It should be a ban for life. Any steroid should. Like, if we're testing for steroids, you know, and you get caught taking steroids, you know what you're fucking doing. It's not like a bit of fucking weed or a bit of, or a pain. I can even deal with a painkiller, right? You get caught taking a cortisone or whatever, and it's like, well, he's kind of bashed up. He wanted to make it to the fight. He needed the payday. I can kind of chuck him a fucking 2-year ban. He learned his lesson. Steroids and EPO, especially when we're getting tested by a company whose sole purpose is to stop people cheating, and you've just thought, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway. What the fuck's he going to... A 2-year ban? He's probably happy with a fucking rest.
He was. He had all his surgeries.
He said that.
Yeah.
He had all his surgeries. He's set up businesses. The guy's not tight to fucking cash, TJ.
No.
You know, he's got fucking millions in the bank. Millions. He was champion for fucking 5-6 fights. Every fight you've had since has been a 5-rounder. You know, he's not fucking tight to cash. 2 years is not going to hurt his pot. If anything, he's probably fucking made money.
Yeah. It's not like a tainted supplement, is it? This
yeah,
is fucking
and you look back to give Nick fucking Diaz 5 years for smoking a bit of weed.
Yeah, I know.
Because he got anxiety and he don't like speaking to people. And he's tired, he want to have a rest after training. So let's chuck him fucking 5 years, but let's give fucking TJ 2 years for openly, and he admitted to doing it. That's the worst bit. It wasn't like a tainted supplement. I remember Yoel, going back to Yoel, got fucking tainted supped, and he proved it, went to court, proved it. Same with fucking other people. They've had tainted supplements and they've proved, look, I didn't do it on purpose. The supplement was tainted. He openly admitted, oh yeah, I was on 1,600 calories a day. And I said, fucking welcome to the fucking club, buddy. Yeah. We're all on fucking 1,600 calories a day last fucking 2 weeks of fight camp. Fucking get on with it. You decided to drop the weight. No one asked you to drop down the weight. It's a fucking ban. It should be a lifetime ban. Because what happens now? Anyone else gets caught? Oh, well, fucking hell.
I could do with a rest anyway. Like if
let's just say, and I'm not saying he is doing it, but let's just say someone like Conor McGregor or someone like John Jones, who's got millions in the bank, and they got a really tough fight, and they think, well, I need a little fucking edge here. I'm not saying they are doing it. This is just hypothetical. I need a little edge. I'll take the fucking chance, because they don't blood test to every fight. The only reason he got caught is because New York State blood tested him. Because USADA can blood test you, but they don't every time. So, if New York State didn't come and fucking blood test him, then guess what? He's not getting fucking caught. He'd still be fighting. But they did by chance, and then they've gone back and tested all his other shit then. So, say Conor and, or someone, or John, or Khabib, someone with fucking millions in the bank think, I'm going to take the fucking risk and go for it.
Yeah.
They don't blood test him, guess what? They're getting away with it. Because they're thinking in their head, what's the worst case? Oh, well, 2 years.
That's probably what's
Can
happened.
I survive
anyway.
off sponsors for 2 years? Fucking... If you're John Jones, you probably can. If you're fucking Conor McGregor, you do whatever the fuck you want to do. So it doesn't set a good precedent, does it? Like, I could go and do it now, and it's like, oh, well, 2 years. I'll be back in 2 years.
It makes you think, though, how many times has he got away with it without a blood test?
Exactly,
anyway,
and his teammates have been fucking saying it for years, haven't they?
Yeah, you can't have, like, there's always the saying, there's no smoke without fire. But when you know there's been a fucking fire as well, and you've got to look at that and think something's definitely happened in the past.
But guess what? Say if it is your living, and they say you get caught, you're fucking banned for life, you'll never fight again.
Yeah.
What happens then?
Well, they're the people who wouldn't do it, probably.
Yeah, we wouldn't do it, would we?
Yeah.
You wouldn't do it. I don't do it now.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't do it if they said to me, you'll never fight again if you get caught taking this. Do you know what I mean?
So then you're got to fight the people who can maybe afford to do it as well.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it is.
This is what I'm saying. But I could have a 10 million fucking or £1 million payday. I could live the rest of my life off a fucking £1 million in the bank.
Yeah.
You know, who's to say then you wouldn't take the fucking risk? I wouldn't do it because I'm not that way inclined. I just think if you need to fucking cheat to compete, then you probably shouldn't be competing anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no way you can't tell me he's not going to look back in years to come and think, oh yeah, you know, what I achieved was great, but I did fucking, you know, would I have done it without the fucking juice? Yeah. There's always going to be that demon in his head, and that would fucking wreck me, to be honest. I wouldn't be able to deal with my own conscience, so...
Yeah. Especially when he's like cardio king, innit?
Yeah, fucking
that is literally what EPO is giving you.
Yeah, that's what it fucking is. Like, how long's he been doing it for, innit? Because it's funny how since, you know, he got caught doing it, he can't do it himself. His team are doing it for him, and he's been with that team now for, what, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
Just funny to me how some of his... Alright, admittedly, he got fucking smashed by Cejudo, but which was calmer. But all his bantamweight fights before that, it's kind of like, fucking funny how he kind of peaked when he went to that team. You know what I mean?
What gets me is like all the lead up to all his fights, he's got this scientist, this Sam Calavita in the garage who had no clue he's doing it. Get fucked.
Yeah, get fucked. Get fucked. Yeah. Then when he gets caught, he didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Fucking really?
Mad
like
scientist
he's
in
doing
the
all blood
garage.
tests on him, he reckons, isn't he? Every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing the bloods to see this, that, and that. And he's not thinking, fuck me. His red blood cell count's fucking high, but what's going on there, Teach? Oh, I'm just fucking bollocks. They all fucking knew he was doing it.
Yeah,
and they're all just as bad as him.
They're all helping him do it.
They're all just... Because imagine he'd fucking knocked Sudo out or damaged him bad.
Yeah.
And you know, God forbid, touch wood, it never happens. But imagine something serious did happen and he couldn't fight again. Would he be able to live with himself knowing that they fucking helped him do that?
Yeah.
'Cause I fucking wouldn't.
And look at the change it would have made. He wouldn't have become like the double champ then or anything. It would have completely derailed his career.
And look what it would have done for fucking TJ's career.
Yeah.
And if he'd won the flyweight belt, he probably would have continued to fight the flyweight and would have then, you know, fucking carried on doing it probably. Or if he didn't do it, right, say, because I think the plan was TJ wins the belt, they were going to scrap the flyweight division because Henry Cejudo calls himself the saviour, doesn't he, of the division. So say TJ does win, they scrap the flyweight division. All these fucking flyweights are out of jobs now. They got to go and fight elsewhere. So he's fucked them over. But then what happens then? He's probably going to go to the bantamweight, but he's probably going to think, fucking hell, I felt like a beast on that IPO. Let's fucking do that again.
Yeah, sick, man.
Fuck him. Change the topic, Joe. You're winding me up.
I know, I can tell. This is what the people want to see.
Fucking winding me up.
I know this is on Patreon, but we probably have to get a couple of reels out of that. But, I see, well, this is a fight we haven't talked about. Sandhagen and Song Yadong. I don't think we've been in here since then.
No, tell the fucking absolute truth. I haven't watched it. I've seen the cut was fucking nasty. From what I heard and seen online, I think it was kind of 2 each, was it? Was it the 5th round they got stopped?
Yeah.
Or the 4th round?
4th round they got stopped.
But I think it was on the way to being 2 rounds. I think Song started well, didn't he? Sandhagen kind of started to take over, but the cut was fucking bad.
Yeah. Song just walked through everything. He was like the powerful one of the two, and none of Sandhagen's shots were phasing him.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the cut, like, I don't think it would have been
a finish.
What may have gone like Song's way.
Yeah.
Just
he's tough as fuck, Song. He's a fucking machine. You see the cut in the fight before as well, that guy's head? You can see like his tendon in the fucking skull and all that.
That was absolutely
that
grim,
was brutal.
Another guy which I wanted to talk with you about, I don't know if you've seen it on the Contenders series, that Paul Rosas Jr., 17-year-old.
Yeah, I did.
What's your take on it?
I think he's not knocking the kid. You know, he's got good skills. He's very developed for the age as well. But I just think 17 is way too young to be in the UFC.
Yeah.
Like, what's he going to do? Have a 15-year UFC career, realistically, at 17? Depends how they build him. Do they build him against a couple of lower-level guys? Probably, I guess that's the fucking plan. But then at the same time, it's like, you're in the UFC, so eventually, you're going to do that for so long.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about it with, like, Paddy and stuff. You can only do that for probably 3, 4, 5 fights if you're lucky. Now, if he fights 3 times a year, he's going to be 19 before he's going to start fighting like a real good level guy. And even at 19, you know, I don't care how developed you are for the age. At 19, you fight like a 29-year-old man. You can be as technical as you want. Sometimes that's strength and size. And not old man strength for 29, but you're old man in comparison to a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little bit too young. He may well prove me fucking wrong, and he may well go on to be a top contender. He's got quality skill set. You know, he can box, he can wrestle, he can grapple. But I just think it's a little bit too young. I think...
it's like Yoel going in next year, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And even Yoel is Yoel's well ahead of what you would expect. You know, he's 16, he's 5-0 against men. So it can be done, but I wouldn't want to put him into the UFC at 17. You know, I wouldn't want to as you know, my old man's obviously his coach, but I wouldn't want to see Yoel turn pro till probably 18. I think he'd be ready to turn pro at 18, but then I think it'll be a slow build, you know. I wouldn't want him kind of looking at the UFC till 20, 21 probably. Because you'd want him, you know, you want him to go in there and be world champion and be a superstar. You wouldn't want him going in there winning one and losing one. And
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
100%, mate.
You may well fucking prove me wrong. Look, what I will say is Canelo turned pro at 16 or 17, but boxing's a different game. You can have 20. You know, Canelo was 41-0 when he fought Floyd.
Yeah.
And no one had ever heard of him. So probably had 25 fights against gimmies.
No one knowing, like,
Doesn't work like that in the UFC, does it?
No, not when you're straight in like that.
No.
Innit?
Yeah, like I said, they can do it for 4 or 5 fights, but eventually you're gonna come across, even if it's not a ranked guy, a guy who's half about.
Yeah, how does he fare like in the top 15 in it with people who are fully developed?
But I'm not knocking him. I'm not trying to put him down or slag him off. Good on the kid. He's gone in there at 17 and he's fulfilled the fucking dream. And
he's got bollocks as well.
He's got bollocks to get in there and fight men at 17, and he's obviously very fucking good and trains very hard. So there's not a knock on him at all.
He looks like he's taken a few items as well.
Yeah, he had to be a fighter, didn't he? He had to be a fighter. But in my opinion, is too young. But we'll see.
Yeah. He looked an interesting character, the way he fought as well. But anyway, let's have a look. Right. Yeah, your take on this. Chimaev's looking like he's moving up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Do you think him and Costa's going to be the next?
I would guess
fight?
so. I would
Makes
guess
sense,
so
doesn't it?
because it's they don't like each other. They had the run in. Costa's funny fucker and he's pushing for it online. But also if he does beat Costa, he's in the same position at middleweight that he is now at welterweight. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He beats Costa, he's gonna have a title shot in straight away and to be honest, that division's thin in terms of contenders because he's not it's not a weak division, but he's beat them all. He's beat Whittaker twice, he's beat Vettori twice, he's beat Costa. He'll probably beat Pereira now. There's no who else is there really.
This is the fight. Either of them wins, he's probably going to fight either of them, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. I think he is a good choice for him to go up. Khamzat, he's fucking massive. I think Izzy stylistically is an easier fight for him than an Usman, or Leon. No, I think Leon's a tough fight for him stylistically as well. Not so you can't beat him. No, people don't put words in my mouth. Is that camera gone off or we got a spare?
Yeah, we got that one going.
Not to say you couldn't beat him, but they're tougher stylistic matchup, especially with a weight cut. You know, at 185, he won't be cutting as much weight. He's got the power. We've seen him knock what's his name? Gerald out at that weight.
Yeah.
He's ragdolled guys at 185. I'd like to see him go up. I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah, and like you said,
but it's funny though because stylistically, Costa is probably the worst fight for him in that division. Again, I think he would beat Costa, but stylistically, in terms of like he's the biggest guy in the division, so you're going up the weight to fight the biggest guy. He punches hard as fuck. He's got a good engine on him for a big guy over 3 rounds, and he's a pretty decent wrestler grappler, you know, because of his size. So if he gets through Costa, I think he's kind of plain sailing to the fucking belt, to be honest, because they're all strikers. Whittaker, you know, he likes Whittaker. He said, didn't he? He doesn't want to fight Whittaker.
I bet he fucking doesn't.
But Whittaker's a tough stylistic fight for him as well. But you look at like Pereira, Strickland, even Izzy. And Izzy's obviously not going to fucking just get taken down at will. But I just think Izzy's probably an easier takedown than Usman.
In comparison, isn't it?
Or Kobe. So,
I think it's the right move. Also, like you say, I feel like Costa's blown up in the last couple of weeks. Since
Yeah.
that altercation.
And he's he's got this like... People hated him, didn't they, with the Izzy thing where he said about using over the night before. But then, that's Lewis ringing me. I'll ring him back now. But then, it's like fucking, he's just kind of become this internet person, like the meme king he calls himself nowadays. Let me just answer this to him. Cut the camera. All right, Bat?
Yeah, I seen him, he was on Ariel, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He give him the hat. He put the hat on Ariel's head, but you've seen he was in the Schmoes podcast like a couple of days before and he's wiping it all over his nuts.
He's a funny fuck. Like, he calls himself the meme king. He's having banter with Paddy and stuff. So, yeah, I quite like Costa. I think he's funny. And some of the stuff he comes out with. And he doesn't give a fuck for no one either, does he? So...
No, he don't care. And that is a fight. I think it'd be a good build up to that.
Yeah,
after
100%.
what's happened. It'd be a
100%.
good laugh. But now he's talking a bit more English as well. It makes sense.
Yes,
doesn't it?
100%. He's worked because he couldn't speak English before, could he? But now his English is getting better, and I think he understood English, but he could never really speak. But now he's speaking it. It's
and it's funny that he still doesn't speak it properly in a little way.
yeah.
Because
The broken English makes it even more funnier. Yeah.
Wrap it up, is it?
Yeah, we're wrapped up there. We got Lewis has just turned up. So yeah, as always, thank you all for supporting us on the Patreon. We got more technique videos to film soon, I think.
I think next week's the last one, probably.
So we'll get some more technique videos. Joe's still editing the workout video that he's done, so we will try. I'll try and get him to
I'm just trying to like get some abs on there.
Yeah, we'll get some giveaways and stuff going now in the lead up to Christmas.
Yeah, I think that's next month, the giveaway, the first one.
again, thank you all for supporting. And you want anything from us, any suggestions or anything you want to see, let us know. And we'll do our best to accommodate. But until next time, peace.